Sports Pueblo, 1350. This is the John Wristen Show. Let's join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves head coach, John Wristen.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. It is the John Wristen Show. Jim Brooks along with Joe Cervi and the head coach, John Wristen. We're getting John with his headset on. He's ready to rock and roll, and he's got a little refreshment.
He's got to wait, though.
He's drinking orange juice.
He's got to wait for an hour.
You'll have to just sit there and watch it and suffer like the rest of us the rest of the evening
hour
here. But we'll find a way to make do here. And John, welcome to the show. Got to be happy this week.
Well, it's nice. We're 1-0, and so it's a great time to be 1-0 in this gold box we play in, and we got a great victory versus a Adams State team that played really darn well.
Yeah, they played hard, didn't they? It was they just would not go away, and you had a chance, I thought, maybe to put the kill shot on them to go up 3 touchdowns, maybe you can get the field goal, and then they responded. You gave them a little opportunity, and they said, let's take advantage of this.
Well, I think that what I'm really proud of is the ebbs and flows of the game. I thought we answered every time,
right.
And we were able to respond and make touchdowns and not field goals, even though we had some opportunity to kick some field goals, and we didn't quite execute all those things. But the reality of it was that we responded with touchdowns when they scored touchdowns, and we were able to manage the ebbs and flows like I talked about, and I was really proud of it. I would have liked to end the game with the ball in our hands. And we did have an opportunity thought we had an opportunity to do that, but we didn't.
Well, as we start to break this down, you mentioned the kicking and the field goals. You miss one left, you miss one right, you get one blocked. And it was the local kid and not Dean Faithful kicking field goals, but Dean kicking off. So was it the kicking competition this week, or was it an injury?
Well, Dean against Chattern, he hit the ground and developed a growing issue. And so he kicked the week before at Vegas, and it was really hurting him.
Okay.
And so we thought that Jared was really excellent at practice. I mean, he was 100%, and we put him through some situations, and we thought we would rest Dean and see where this would take us. So it takes us to Wednesday night here. And I don't know if I have any other better answers at this point, but
well, how's Dean's groin?
Dean's much better, and he kicked today on field goals, but you could
So
tell.
what is it, it's a different move then, kicking off as opposed to place kicking, or just the movement into the ball?
Just the thought of Dean kicking off gives you a chance to kick it out of the end zone and make a non-play. And that didn't hurt him as much.
Okay.
And I think really both of those are very technical in their approach and how they do those things. And I think that with the field goal that he was struggling a little bit with his rhythm.
Because of the pain.
Yes.
Okay.
And so all week it became a little bit of a problem, and Jared was awesome. And, Jared's going to be awesome. He had to go through some growing pains, but it makes it a little exciting.
But it didn't hurt you. I mean, it's easy to talk about those things tonight after a win, because, those things tend, as you as special teams coach at the highest level know, those are the ones that come back to haunt you.
Yeah, and we try to understand what our point production is. So that's a points for field goal, extra point, and in that game we were not very productive, and we want to be 90% on our point production. And so that's one of those goals that we didn't reach, that we probably really could have not made it as exciting at the end. But we all have a part in that. All we need to do our job. And Jared, on the one that was blocked, he was just trying to guide it instead of kick it, and just put it right in the guy's forearm. And
Jim saw it right away. It was low.
Yeah.
And I tell you, the key part of that is our kids could have hung their head. Okay, we got it blocked. It didn't play, but Curtis Luckledue made a heck of a saving
saved
tackle.
touchdown, yeah.
And saved a touchdown. And so that's why Curtis was one of our special teams player of the week.
You can imagine that. And let's just talk about the way the game went. Adams State, we all knew, came in, was winless, but I think you found out why they've been in so many games and lost a game in overtime and why they're scoring 40 points a game and lose. I mean, they can move the football, and that quarterback they had, how did they find this guy? He was a tight end, converted tight end, and now all of a sudden he's playing quarterback. What the hell did they miss before they converted him to a quarterback? Who missed?
Well,
did he just show up one day and say, I can play quarterback, coach?
No, he was a quarterback who was recruited by the previous staff.
Okay.
And the Rosenbach staff.
Okay.
And he's naturally been a quarterback, and so they thought he got beat out or whatever and trying to find a position. And then they need him, and he comes in and plays like Eli Manning.
Exactly.
And I told him after the game, I said, you were impressive. And
yeah.
I said, I am very impressed with you. And I said, joking. I said, shame on you, shame on them for not recognizing that sooner, because I really think that team would have been a lot different if he was playing, because he gave them a little toughness, he gave them a little moxie, and he did an excellent job with all that. And so I really had a lot of respect for that kid.
They had a couple of weapons too. I mean, big number 17. I mean, that was a tough cover.
Well, it was one of those things that we were trying to match up, and we went after them a little bit, and we had AB on them, and we thought AB could get a little jam on him, and the next thing you know, it's one of those plays you go in the season, go, gotcha, we just got us, and but those things happen in the ebbs and flows of a game, and you got to respond. You got to make sure you don't hang your head on it, and got to be able to go and answer the next challenge.
Yeah, I thought their tight end was pretty good too.
That 88,
yeah, he was.
I thought he looked like a nose guard.
Yeah.
With great hands.
But as the game went on, though, when you needed a play late by your defensive front, I mean that was a great sack by Ike coming through there and just blowing that play up, and you needed it right there let's just settle this thing down right now. Let's tamp down this fire, and he did it right there.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of the coverage that we went to and try to run a little trap coverage on the tight end kid, and then we finally got off the ball and pushed the pocket, and he found the seam and made a nice play.
It looked to us in that fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter, you looked like the more fit team. I think the playing shape, you didn't lose any legs in that fourth quarter.
Well, we try to be fresh going in this gold box we talked about. We try to make sure that we are playing as fast as we can, and that really helped in the fourth quarter.
Well, let's talk about the offense. They responded. You had 500 and some yards. I mean, it was good balance. They're running the ball. Gunner. Let's talk about Gunner first. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the offense. This guy played incredibly tough. He showed a lot of courage. In fact, I came here after the ball game. Our old buddy Kevin Shriver, we sat and had a couple of, adult beverages, and Gunner came in with joined his parents, and it was like, Gunner, are you going to be all right? And he goes, I'm going to be sore, but I'm all right. And we just told him, I go, man, that was one of the most gutsiest, incredible efforts I've ever seen by a football player. He couldn't play the fourth quarter, but he gave it all for 3.
It just seemed like every time he got hit, it was like the crash dummy, right?
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was a crash dummy falling different, but he made some plays, didn't he? I'm proud. He just made some wonderful plays, and he stayed with it, and he stayed in control, and it was really kind of refreshing. And we had a performance like Gunner, but the best thing I thought that he did was that he showed some moxie.
Yeah.
He showed some grit, and he showed say, hey, come on, this team, I'm gonna put you on my back, and we're gonna find a way to win this ball game. And I thought he made some great throws, and a couple of them just slipped out of his hands, and those things. And it was funny today after practice. I got done, and I walked, and he was out throwing a little bit, and I grabbed him, and we walked around the track together, and I just told him how proud I was of him. And I said, the best thing, you don't have to do this by yourself, and don't feel like that. And so, but what you did is you showed everybody that you can put this team on your back.
Well, let's run down his injuries. What is he just sore this week? I mean, he had he had the eye wash thing. He had the stuff up in his nose. He hit his head. We thought he was concussed, but it was basically just the stuff into his eyes. It looked like he had a little leg issue, maybe perhaps, and maybe the foot. Well, he just kept trotting back out there.
Do you remember when your kids played the doctor game, and you went in there and you tried to get the funny bone, and you got
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's the way his whole body felt on Saturday night and Sunday, and then he really did a great job in the training room. Our trainers did a great job, and Jen Rodriguez did a great job of getting some Epsom salt, and did the old school Epsom salt, soak it in there.
Been there, done that.
And those guys, so he was able to practice Tuesday and was able to go, and he practiced today.
And I'm sure his teammates, I mean, they have to rally around that, but you have to respect that kind of effort.
I think that, yes, I mean, there's no, but I think everybody was going, I'm glad that he had some success, right? Because he's played maybe, really, you look at it, he's only played probably 7 minutes of the whole season up until that point.
Right.
And so I just was hoping he'd have some success. He's such a great kid, and we were able to get Nick open on the first touchdown down there. It was a nice play, a nice relief that he threw it right there on him, and it was a well-designed play by our offense and staff, and we executed it, and it was nice.
It was a jokingly goal of the offense just to get Gunner into play 4 quarters, just to get him to take a snap in all 4 quarters. And he told me as I was standing there on the sidelines, he goes, man, I really wanted to take a snap in the 4th quarter.
Well, I think we were just glad we got 2 quarters out of him, and then we were glad we were able to get 3. And then, Devin and Stevie, we had nice little packages for Stevie, and Devin came in and managed the game. And
let's talk about those. The running play broke open beautifully for Kroll. I mean that was a gorgeous design when he ran it right up the middle there, and everybody went. It's like they went with Roots. I think he sent Roots in motion to the left, I think, and it's like all eyes on race car, and he took it right up the middle, and no fear.
Well, we give him a bad time. I said, shoot, it just looked like he running sideways there a little bit, and instead of going north and south, he goes, I was going to outrun him.
I was setting him up.
I was outrunning him. So it was nice. That was a great team victory, and Adams State came to play, and I got to give them a lot of respect, and they were really big up front, and it was a good day for the Pack.
Well, you get everybody's A game no matter what.
Right.
That's been a tradition for how many years now? Since 2009. You've gotten everybody's A game. They gear up to play you. They always have, and that's just been a staple.
Well, I think it's, as we know, that this is a fun place to go play, right? And people enjoy coming here and play because of the environment, our Pack fans, and it's a great stadium, and it's exciting to play here, and we're lucky to call this our home field.
Well, we brought him up, Michael Roots. I mean, some incredible runs again. I mean, the guy just never ceases to amaze, does he?
Well, I
think see him every day at practice. I mean, I can imagine the runs at practice that are phenomenal, but some of these game runs are just amazing what he does.
I think he was really patient this game, and we were able to Chris Simonton and Wilk and our Howard Fagans and John Donahoe were able, and Tim Callahan, we were able to try to do some design different things, and it worked, and it was nice for us to get the ball north and south, and I think our guard play was as best it's been all year because we were able to get the backside linebackers, and when you're patient and get it up north and south, we got some big plays. I think Nick Bingham had a big time run in there, and so it was nice. And Jordan Jones is kind of banged up a little bit with his shoulders, and so we're trying to be smart, and we're comfortable with Nick Bingham being a player.
And Michael Root's got 20 plus carries. That's a nice. We talked about before the game. I said if he gets 20 carries, they win. And that I don't know if that's my own goal in my head but I think if he carries the ball 20 times in a game, that can only be good for that offense.
Well, I think Joe, you've seen enough college football to realize that if you can get 20 carries and be over 100 yards, you got a chance,
especially
right?
From
so
that guy.
I think that you might go. You hope to have enough yards after contact. Yak is what
Right.
I say with him to wear people down, and he's such a strong soul guy. And what I mean by that is heart's great, but he's really a physical specimen.
All right, we are at Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. They brought out our refreshments and our dinner here. Now we got something different. Now Joe said, "Hey, we got to go do the pineapple pizza again on Saturday." And I went, "Oh no!" I go, "Okay, I'll have a bite of it." But he relented tonight.
I relented for you
and we're
guys.
going to go to the chili peppers on the pizza. You ready for that?
I'm with you guys, so I'm just glad.
Okay.
Well, I said if we won last week, we had to order the same things. But watching you both eat a piece of pineapple and Canadian bacon pizza was like watching my kids taste something for the first time they didn't like. So
Exactly.
we just won't do that again. We'll make you happy. Got you the Risto wings. You like the barbecue.
Yeah.
Got a quesadilla tonight.
Oh, that quesadilla.
Thought we'd try
Yummy.
that.
All right.
Kind of just feel it out. But I just want to make you happy, John.
Wow.
And it is all you can eat wing night.
Can you say that again? I mean,
I just want to make you happy, John.
Wow. Joe Cervi?
Yeah. That was a little burning taste that came in my mouth. Kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit there, but
Wow. I'm shocked.
All right, we're going to come back after this timeout. We got some of those plays John talked about, some of those big plays. We got them all lined up. We'll listen to those, get his reaction to those. We are at Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. John Wristen Show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Fox Sports Pueblo, 1350. This is the John Wristen Show. Let's join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves head coach John Wristen.
And welcome back, Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. It is the John Wristen Show here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Quick reminder, we'll remind you a little bit later in the show as well, but this week a little earlier starting time down in Durango. It'll be 11:30 pregame, 12 o'clock kickoff from the House of Horrors known as Ray Dennison Field.
high noon.
We'll see if we can avoid thunderstorms, if we can avoid...
sun's out, and there's a game delay from lightning.
See if we can avoid grass that's 6 inches long and all that good stuff, too. We'll see down there. But we'll see if we can avoid. One of my favorite memories from Ray Dennison Field, though, is what was our mascot a couple years ago, Joe, when it came running out and blew a knee out.
Yeah, how about that?
That was unfortunate for him, but you just maybe it's a thing with mascots. How's Mark's hamstrings, by the way? Is he going to be no surgery? Okay, that's good because Bill Sabo may want a surgery on his psyche. After that run out, I mean that was painful to watch him run out there trying to lead you guys, and it was faster, Bill, faster. You should have given him a 10-yard head start, John.
I don't know what to say because I felt bad because I even caught him. I felt bad and I caught him. I wanted to say, give me rock. I'll run out there with him. Heck, I just felt bad,
I kid because I care, because I'm not allowed to run anymore. I've been forbidden to run with the new hips, so I don't even know if I could even try it.
Remember down there in Durango, talking about the experience, though, there was a big bear dung.
Yeah.
Remember Remember right there, and I made the officials, and we're warming up right there, and I said, "What the heck?" And you can't say that happens on every football field, can you?
No.
There's a lot that happened down there, and one of my favorite memories is I think it was the very first year. They had a linebacker who was pretty good, Mark Ming, I think is his name.
That was our first year.
Yeah, the SID down there was a kid who was drinking beer at halftime, And he said, if anybody's close on the tackle, just give it to me. You know, so they gave this guy. I think he had 30 tackles in that game. He got RMAC Player of the Week, and I was sitting there watching him. Who made a tackle? I think what was his number, 20 or something? And they just kept giving it to this guy. I'm like, now that's the stat crew you need right there.
Well, that was our second game in our whole program. I remember over there, and we beat him.
Yeah.
And I remember coming down over Wolf Creek, going to Alamosa, and I'm going, I don't know anything about the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here we go. We play Kearney and Chatter, and just they get picked up like a.
Yeah. So much for that thought, right?
Yeah.
That's all right. All right, let's get to these plays, and there are big plays aplenty. And this guy is really coming into his own. Your big wide receiver, Nick Williams, and he put on a show on this play. State stunning across the defensive front. They're going to throw the pass on the end to Nick Williams. He's got it. Into the clear across the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Thunderwolves.
Nick Williams is the pack way.
And he is, you talked about yak earlier, yards after the catch. I think he's the king of the yak.
He's done a nice job with really improving his skill and catching the ball out in front of him. And, you know, he's really strong, and he's very physical, and you get him going straight north and south. I mean, he's really got some really good speed and done some great things. And
he's big.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'4", at least 215.
Yeah.
And you got a chance to put your foot in the ground, and you got to put a good hit on him to bring him down.
All right, we got a lot of plays here and so little time, but we get right to it. And we talked about the race car, and he broke off a big one here. Breaks the tackle, squirts through there across the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. He's off to the races inside the 40. Hit from the safety. That's a horse collar, looks like. They take him down inside the 25 all the way down to the 22. They do not throw the penalty there. The safety had his hand right up in his shoulder pad. Should have been a horse collar tackle, but it's a big gain for the Pack.
You know, I said earlier 2 words, Jim. Michael Roots.
Michael Roots, simplistic. And it wasn't a horse collar. He got him by the jersey. We were fooled, but the next one was a horse collar down on the goal line. But talk about the run.
The run, I think, like I said earlier, Sean Johnson, our tight guard, was able to go seal the backside linebacker, and then we're able to kick out the down guy, and we're able to pull James Parker up through, and he was able to cover up that linebacker, and Mike was enough patient. He set it up going up to his left a little bit, and then put his foot in the ground and got north and south, and that was great overall blocking on that.
Well, this next play, Joe and I were a little frustrated, and we were, Wilk the night before was telling Bonner, hey, this is the old story. This isn't California, dude. But on the first down and goal from the 1 yard line, you guys tried the California pitch to around the left end, and it lost 4 yards. And we're going, so we were giving Wilk the business on the air, so that must have been a California play there. Let's get it back to the race car, and this is what happened.
Run him to the edge. Nobody's going to beat him to the edge.
Jared motion resets to the right. They pitch it to the right side. Roots now going to cut it back inside. Full head of steam. Touchdown for the race car.
Yeah, that was a...
Oops, okay, that's all right.
Sorry, I didn't know you were going to add more to it.
Well, just some color, John. Just some color.
You got a lot of color.
Just some flavor, just a little flavor.
Yeah. A little flavor.
Just a little flavor. Like that little pepper right there. There's a little flavor.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I would associate you with,
yeah.
a little pepper.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm saying?
Little purely ornamental.
Okay. That was a well-designed, Simo and Will came up with a different scheme than we've shown before, and we were able to get it, and Michael did a good job. He's got to set that up a little bit to get everybody flowing so you can hit it right down there, and it worked like a charm.
All right, speaking of making it flow, you got this great 1-2 power punch now at running back, and you mentioned Nick Bingham, and he breaks off a big run here.
Just to get Deontay back in the flow.
They give it to Bingham up the middle. He puts his head down. He squirts across the 40. Lumbering into the secondary. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Thunderwolves. What a powerful run by Nick Bingham.
Okay. I waited for the color, but I didn't get the color.
We cut Joe off ourselves,
I didn't get the pepper. So
I'll be a little quicker next time. We did up our game, though, because we felt like we were
tried to be more exciting
last week by you. So we kind of had to up our game a little bit.
Well, I don't know if that really was up in your game, but it might have been a little bit better.
Well, from Highlands, it was a lot better.
Well, I don't even want to talk about that, but Nick Bingham is such a wonderful kid to coach. He's such a wants to do everything right and gets frustrated when there's 1% difference in what he's doing, and so for him to have a little success with that run, and really, I thought it really ignited our team.
Right.
And I thought it was just another example of a kid making a play, and one of those 6-7 plays that make a difference. But if you really go back and watch that, Deontay Sykes did a wonderful job of blocking, and he goes and he blocks his corner, and the corner really does like a somersault. He knocked him over, and it was really nice. And it was nice to see Deontay go and celebrate with the kids in the end zone, and so I'm really proud of what Deontay did, but I'm really proud that Nick had some success, and it was another one of those plays, just like I described. We were able to get the backside linebacker block, and he was able to get north and south right on that safety, and that safety wanted no part of him.
Well, it's a block that Paul Browning would have been proud of. All those blocks he used to make in the run game, right?
Yep.
All right, we're going to go one more time. Why not? Let's finish off the great portion of the highlights with another run by the race car. Nice snap, but it's handled nicely. They give it to Roots up the middle. He's got the first down and more into the secondary on his race car. He's into the end zone. Touchdown!
Victory lane for race car Roots.
We just how many more superlatives can we give the guy?
We got to make the pit stop. We got to go to
the checkers.
The checker there. We got a caution flag now because it.
But it's fun. I mean, he is so much fun.
We have
to watch
a good time, John.
I noticed, and victory lane. I like that. He was able to get the ball in there and get the. He was chugging the milk. That's for sure on that play. That was another well-designed play, and he was able to get some good blocking, and he was able to get in there.
All right, we're going to do what we got a little time here for the bonus play. John, this play had to have set a record. I don't know if it what kind of record it set, but it was an incredible play just to watch the carnage on the field. Smith takes the snap. Here comes the push up the middle. Pass left side, and it goes up, and it's intercepted. Across the 30, 35, 40. It's Stevenson. Makes a cut back inside. Gets a block. Trying to turn the corner. 45, 50. Up the middle. 40, 30. Cuts outside. All kinds of flags down. We've got a scrum out here at about the 40-yard line. Return is all the way back to the 10, but there is laundry everywhere. Somebody got decleated here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flags on the field. That means only 7. Jim, there's 7. One guy didn't throw his flag.
That is a record. There's laundry everywhere. Have you ever seen anything like that, John? 7 refs throwing the flag on the same call.
And a hat.
And a hat. There was a hat on the field as well.
I think it was really 8 flags if you really look at it. There was there was all of them threw it because it was so obvious what the call was. But the first call really, it just drives me crazy. Tanner Draper does a great job of trying to go block. And they said that it was a blindside block. And the guy was facing, and he comes, and he just knocks the living you-know-what out of him. Knocked his helmet off, okay? So when he knocked the helmet off, the kid that knocked his helmet off, by rule, you're not in play. So you're supposed to sit there and normally that happens in a scrum in line of scrimmage or whatever, but then when it happened in open field and he takes off running and doing that, that's when everybody says, oh, I see that guy, so I'm going to be an official and I'm going to get graded down if I don't throw the flag. So I think they had a competition to see.
They piled on, didn't they?
They want to see a competition and make sure. I saw it first. No, my flag's out first. No, my flag was out second. So those guys had a competition to see who could get it out the fastest is what I'm saying.
And Tanner, I talked to him after the game.
Yeah,
as
a great
time
line.
was winding down, and he said, it wasn't a blindside block. But he paused and he goes, I killed that guy.
What did he say? I felt his soul
He goes, I
go
felt
through
his
my
soul
body.
leave his body.
So the unique thing is that I had to I had to decline good thing both those penalties happened.
Post-possession.
Yes, so I thought it happened during, and I was really worried about it.
Getting it all fired.
Because I thought Matt made a heck of a play, and the best part of it that Matt had a chance to have another one, and when he caught it and made the play, everybody goes, he caught it, he caught it, he caught it, and then we were able to go make a play, and everybody was trying to get Matt to score. And you see Patrick Cowell, his buddy, going, yeah. Then he's trying to guide him to come over here on the film, and then he cuts back, and then Matt is pretty quick. He's a little guy, so man, quick, and he was going right down there. And I gave him a bad time. I said, you ran out of gas. You ran out of gas all the time. No, I would have scored, Coach. I would have scored if they did that.
That'd have made Leo proud. Leo was watching down on that one going, man, that was a great play. But, it was an incredible run. It's just an incredible set of highlights. And thanks, John. I enjoyed that. That was fun.
It was nice having I would really like the color of the highlights.
Okay, we'll try to do a little better job of cutting those up for you.
I mean, that's pretty original.
I'll send you the whole game. You can listen to it, when you go to bed at night. Just put the headphones on and listen to the stylings of Jim and Joe.
Well, I can guarantee you one thing. You can send it. It ain't going to be listened to, okay?
Okay, all right.
I'm just telling you, so don't bother sending, okay?
All right. I'll just post it on YouTube. It'll be there for your convenience. All right, John Wristen Show here at Thunder Zone Pizza Tap House. The quesadilla is world famous right now. I just made it. It's a world famous quesadilla. The barbecue wings, pizza with the chilies. I'll be digging into that a little bit later.
And John donated his Risto wings.
Yeah, he gave them to his wife, didn't you? That was so nice.
To the Risto family.
I had a couple. They were good.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, we'll come back. We'll take your questions right here. We got the hot mic. If anybody wants to come give John a question, it's right here. It's only been used once this year. It's okay still. I think it's all right. Right there. You could use right. Oh, well, they just ignored us, didn't they? But anyway, we come back. We'll try to get some questions right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Kidman.
Here we go.
Sports Pueblo, 1350. This is the John Wristen Show. Let's join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves head coach, John Wristen.
And welcome back, Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. It is the John Wristen Show here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Jim and Joe, along with the head coach, John Boy.
He said that.
Yeah. Hey, we're missing some.
I was Jim Bob. I grew up my whole life. You might as well be John Boy. Right?
Yeah,
we're all
that's all right.
Products of the Waltons. What would Joe be?
I was below average, Joe.
Joe Bob?
He'd be watermelon.
Okay, something like that, exactly. I don't know what it means.
Why?
It sounds funny.
It just.
Somebody's got to have a nickname.
I call you Mr. Potato Head, but watermelon.
It's funnier.
Come on! I want watermelon on my team.
It's funnier.
I want Mr. Potato Head on my team. What do you want?
Yeah, that's fun.
You know, the night that we roasted you, that was still one of the all-time great roasts of all time.
It was
me,
pretty good.
Dave Vecchio, Gary Barnett, and Judge Mays.
Yeah.
And we skewered Risto. I mean, for
Nice.
hours.
Yes.
It was the most fun I ever had. And
I gave you a lot of ammunition.
Yeah. And then he gets up, and the first thing, and his job is to get us back, right, Mr. Potato Head.
There you go.
That was a good night.
All right, Uncle Charlie checking in. He doesn't want to be blamed for another loss. He apologizes. He's fallen on his sword. I said I forgot. I feel responsible.
Well, you were.
But is there any way John can guarantee at least a 9-point lead with 2 minutes or less in the game so I can relax, sip on a cold one, and kick back and grin till the buzzer?
All your fans want to know that.
Actually,
not just Uncle Charlie.
He's thinking basketball. There's a gun in football, but maybe we can't mention guns. I don't know, but he wants to relax a little, John.
Well, Uncle Charlie, for all those years that we had those big blowout victories, this year we're making up for them and having a chance to have some great victories. And you know what? The important thing, and I told our leadership group, and it was really kind of ironic, is that what we have done is there's really high expectations, and expectations are just words. And I said, but our standard is to find a way to go win by one. A standard is what you can go measure and do those things. So, Uncle Charlie, I don't care if we win by 30 or 1. we're going to find a way to win, and that's the way it's going to be. So I'm sorry that you have to wait and not relax. You know, I'm calm, cool, and collected. By the way, did you happen to see a hat fly at the end there when that guy? There was a hat that flew, and I had it. It was on my headset. I had my headsets down, and I was so mad at the officials. And the hat, and I did a great throw. It was a backhand, and it threw up the track, but my sunglasses were on.
Oh, no.
My sunglasses were on it. It ended up almost went in the stands, but it was over by the water cooler over there. And I was yelling at the officials when that guy went down because they were out of timeouts.
Yeah, and it was
at the end of the game, and I'm screaming and yelling. I said, "They can't do that." And so I just, instead of throwing it down, I backhand my hat, frisbee it, and then I see my glasses go, and I was back at the officials. And then I turn around the next play, and the kids are going, Coach, we got your hat. I said, what about the glasses? You got me to find the glasses? And the kids were in their training room trying to get it. They broke and do those things. But this is the key. This is the best part. Today, I went and bought some new sunglasses. You can't believe how clear and everything, because those old glasses were all scratched up and so everything. So I found out why I couldn't see all the time, and blame the officials. I got a better view now.
You were due for a re-up, and you got it. That's good. I was just going to ask, was it a $120 pair you got rid of, or?
Yeah. I mean, it was those nice Oakleys, that's supposed to help you read putts and put it in there and do those things. I've had those forever, and maybe I've identified the problem, So
Remember when you used to get criticized for winning too big?
Yeah. No, we're not going to come. That's always a blowout.
Yeah. So,
All right. Okay, we listener 6 checking in, as always. Wants to know your itinerary for the Durango trip. I can imagine there's some barbecue in your future on Friday night.
Yep.
I always get the barbecue. That's always pretty good.
We got one of our Pack family's brother is the part owner down there, Jeremy Koski, that related to Josh. And so we're going to practice here and have our meetings in the morning. And then we're going to go to the Pizza Ranch and have a nice, get our grub on so everybody can sleep on the bus and get over the bus and have some Texas tacos, as they call them, and do some film review and put them to bed and get up in the morning and have a great Saturday.
Just sad these kids don't get to experience the Iron Horse.
Yeah.
That was the hotel of all hotels in Durango.
That was. I roomed with John one trip down there.
At the Iron Horse?
At the Iron Horse.
Remember they had lofts?
Yeah, I was in the loft. Was I in the loft?
I don't know.
Who knows where we were at that week? You were probably down there.
I think we have a guy who wants to ask a question here.
Okay, yeah, we do have the hot mic. Let me make sure everything's okay here. Go ahead, hot mic. Let me see if I got it in the right place here. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. All right, you're on the hot mic. Yeah, you're ready.
All right. Hey, I'm a huge Stephen Kroll fan. I know he's young, and Devin's like a senior, a little more experienced, but I see Stevie go in, and when Gunnar goes down cold, he's like, maybe 2 feet from a touchdown on that pass that got intercepted. Great punt, though, right, on the 3-yard line. And then we don't see him. We see him on his crazy legs running down the field. We don't see him. But then in the game, you see Devin in there. And Devin's probably a great kid and stuff, but he's like 1 for 4, has 3 batted balls. Just kind of wondering what that dynamic is and stuff. So Stevie seems, I don't know if he's much taller, but it seems throughout the course of the season, Devin has struggled getting over the line of scrimmage, and Stevie has a way of getting it in. So don't know if you can answer that politically correctly or not, but.
Well, I appreciate a retired math teacher and coming up and addressing the angle of the throw. And in all reality, Devin was 3 of 6, not 1 of 4. So I would appreciate you making sure your math statistics were right. And so, yeah, it's a tough decision, and we feel comfortable playing both of them. And I think both of them done a nice job, and they both got strengths, and we're very lucky to have both of them on our program.
Favorite movies you like to watch on the bus, John? I'm sure everybody watches movies. The listener wants to know what movies you watch.
Hey, there's some things that are above my pay grade, and I don't pick the movies, okay? I don't pick
You're not like Ralph? Ralph used to pick the movies.
Well, that's Ralph.
Yeah. My buddy.
It's your buddy.
That's right. I just said my buddy.
You just point at me like I have something to do with it.
All right. I think that's all of our questions. Was Kim Basinger going to come up and give us a...
Oh,
It was Kim's husband.
yes.
Oh,
All right.
All right. Then
So it didn't
Mr.
work
Boyd.
All right. Aaron Konitschke, who's our producer and engineer tonight, he's an Adams State alum. He wants your opinion to their new head coach. Seemed passionate to me down there. He was into the game.
I thought his whole staff did a really good job getting their team ready. I think that I think they're young and trying to figure out what their culture is going to look like and what they need to go recruit and how to recruit and get the things in. And he got the job late, I believe, in April or May, and it was challenging for him. I think he seems like a guy that has a mission, but the kids sure played hard for him. I thought they were very responded to the challenges, and I think that he's got a bright future in front of him.
How many seasons does it take for a coach to establish their? I mean, is it 3 years? Is it 5? Is it?
Well, if we all had that, we should go buy a lottery ticket and figure that
Well,
out.
you know what I mean.
I do think it takes a while for you to go get your own players and be able to develop your culture, because sometimes when you come in a program, but he was already there and he was a part of it. I think if you have an outsider that comes in, those kids were loyal to the coach that recruited him, and those type of dynamics that take place. And so I really think that it depends on what you're trying to change and how to do it, and really who we are. You take, for example, when we went to Northwestern and had to go up there, and it took us a while to establish what our vision was. And I thought that was one of the biggest things that we turned around. And then you come back to Colorado and you had Rick Neuheisel there, and our problems were a lot different than what we had at Northwestern. We had to figure those out. And I think the kids took a while to buy into what Gary and us were all about, with holding them accountable and maybe not as accountable with Rick. And, there's always nuances. And it took us really 3 years. And then we were beat Nebraska 62-36. And
kind of paid off, didn't it?
And we were 1/10 of a point playing for the national championship. And we went down to Texas. And so it takes some time. And then it's the people's spirit that takes some time to have that all bonded whenever you have a coach come in.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your questions for John this week. We'll come back after this timeout. We'll talk about Fort Lewis. That all comes your way next. We're at Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House, John Wristen Show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Fox Sports Pueblo, 1350. This is the John Wristen Show. Let's join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves head coach, John Wristen.
And welcome back, Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. It is the John Wristen Show. Jim Brooks along with Joe Cervi and the head coach, John Wristen. Well, John, you mentioned Josh Koschke earlier, going to eat at his brother's house. It's been kind of a tough week, tough couple days for the Koschke family. Of course, Josh's wife, Christy, is a Zanani, and Mark Zanani, our old classmate, passed away yesterday. I mean, that's tough when you think about all the things we work about and try to have the levity, but life still hits you, doesn't it?
Yeah, what you really got to value is enjoy every second, every minute, and live life to its fullest. And you never know when it's your time. And we sure feel bad for the Zanani family, and they're just unbelievable, great people. And it's a very unfortunate situation.
I thought I'd give you that opportunity to say what you wanted to make some peace with them there. It's just, it's tough going on, but now we transition into the ball game this week. Fort Lewis is struggling. They've scored 6 touchdowns this year. I saw their extra point kickers 6 for 6 on extra points. So that's one place they're perfect. But, it has been a tough year for that program. They're probably just looking for something to hang their hat on, and in years past, they've been able to hang their hat on knocking off the Thunderwolves. I'm sure you have that message for your ball club saying, I don't care what their record is, I don't care what has happened, we're going to go down there and we're going to kick some butt.
Well, I really try to approach it about us, and our goals are still in front of us, and we need to improve on the little things. And I think our kids took a big step this week. I really do. I think that our kids and our coaches, we took one of our top goals is attitude and chemistry. And I really think, you know, losing exposes you, and winning helps verify, and you can get put on some more gas is what I call it, you know, and you can light that fire and let it go. And so I really think that we're fresh, we're getting healthy. It's about as healthy we're going to be since our game against Commerce. And so I was really focused on us about what we needed to do, and we need to take care of the ball and play penalty-free, believe it. Let's try to do that and make sure we don't give them a short field. And it's not about Fort Lewis and where we're playing. It's about us, where we get a chance to go play. We get this chance to go do, and our focus is let's go do this together, because in all reality, we only have 180 minutes guaranteed left.
Yeah.
And we're fighting for our lives. This is a playoff game for us. This is how I structured this. This is a playoff game for us to go maximize and grow and go get better. And you know, I feel bad that they haven't had the success they want in Fort Lewis. I don't feel real bad.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, and so I can't be concerned about what they're doing. I want to make sure we're doing what we get an opportunity. It's not a have to, it's a get to. And we get to have this opportunity to go play Fort Lewis, and we're looking forward to it.
You can't look at it like a layup either.
No, but I think what you said was, and we talked in an earlier segment about how Sean Johnson and Parker and those guys are starting to come together a little bit and get targeted right, and the running game, Michael Roots with 20-plus carries, tightening all that up now and getting it, the momentum building on a success, and going on a road trip that, I mean, you're going down there for one reason, play, come back. But building on what you just did and the positives that you took out of last week's game, other than the win, but just the way you got to that victory, now you just take it and you just continue building on that.
Well, you know, again, sometimes the roadmap gives you a straight shot to get to your goals eventually. But sometimes you have a flat tire, your engine blows, you have to make a different change, you know, with a different car because you got some issues. And so our destination is still in front of us. I think we've learned a little bit of how to win again. I think we've learned how to go play with passion, and I think our fundamentals are sure getting better. And so I'm really excited that I think we've had great focus. I think we've had great focus all week. Our guys are doing everything to take care of their bodies. I challenge them about trying to make sure they're getting 8 hours of rest and doing all the little things, and really focus on this challenge that you have, because these are all playoff games to go where you want to go. And the reality of this, that we got to go 1-0 each week to make sure we can go celebrate each and every opportunity we get together.
All right, we're looking forward to it. It'll be Saturday morning pregame show. 11:30 is the pregame show here on Fox Sports Pueblo. It's a high noon kickoff down at Ray Dennison Field in Durango. I hope you can join us on the radio and listen to the call of the ball game. Or if you want to make a nice little trip over to Durango, it's not a bad little trip, 5.5 hours, and stop at the malt shop or whatever you stop at. Get the giant ice cream on your way back. That's what I'm looking forward to right now. Yeah. All right. Special people to thank here tonight. Aaron Konitsky's been our producer and engineer tonight of the John Wristen Show. Trey Straziscar is the sports information guy. Paul Plinsky, the athletic director. Ryan Howard, and then the entire staff. There he goes, Ryan, right there. Good job, buddy. As always, everybody here at Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. My partner is Joe Cervi. My name is Jim Brooks. For the head coach, John Wristen, until we talk to you on Saturday. Good night, everybody.
Go Pack.